As Robin introduced, I'm Chelsea Yestick, and I'm the CGS YP Chair and YP Rep for 2025-2026. So, our team has had the privilege of witnessing months of planning by this YP conference team today that's going to be speaking to you, and they've truly made this conference a reality, and we couldn't be more exciting for, everything they have lined up for you. But first, we won't, steal too much of your time. We're just going to introduce you to our new YP committee. And as well as let you know about some additional YP events that we'll be bringing your way in 2025. So on our committee, we have Zarin Patel, who's our vice chair, Nabil Islam, who's our secretary and fundraising lead. We have Liam McCann, who's our lead of development, and Jane Kennan, who's our lead of knowledge and impact, as well as Patrick Macabrota, who's our lead of communication. And then we have multiple executives at large, Sarah, Zenon, Ethan, Adam, Ivana, and Sadipta. And we span all the way from the territories, from BC, all the way to the Maritimes. So, there's a good chance that someone is local to you and you can easily get in touch with them. But I'll pass the baton to Jade, and she's going to tell you just a few events that we got coming up for you, and then we'll let you get back to the information webinar.
Awesome. Thanks, Chelsea. So in 2025, from the CGS YP committee, you can look forward to 4 different programs we will have running. There'll be 2 speaker series, a technical and non-technical series, a student competition, and a CGS YP mentoring program. Now, a lot of QR codes on the screen, but coming up quickly is the deadline to enter the CGS YP mentoring program. That's February 21st that you have to enter by. The left and middle QR codes are the applications to that mentoring program. And to keep up with all of the latest of our other programs, you can also join our CGS YP committee LinkedIn group, which is the QR code on the right. That's all from us. Thank you very much to the YP conference group for letting us chat for a moment and sign up for the conference. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Chelsea and Jade. So we'll start our presentation here. All right. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to this general info webinar for the 2025 Canadian Geotechnical Society Young Professionals Conference. The webinar today will be hosted by us, your technical committee. So we have Jordan Antunes from Newfields Canada, Robin Sturkey from RMC, and myself from Six Sense. So the purpose of this webinar is to provide an overview of what to expect at the conference and what you, the delegates, would be responsible to contribute. The main presentation should take about 25 to 30 minutes or so, followed by a question period for you to ask any burning questions you might have. And if you could please hold on to your questions until the end or write them into the chat as you think of them, that will help us get through the presentation as quickly as possible to maximize the time for your questions. And please note that the webinar is being recorded for you to watch again at a later time, as well as for those who are not able to attend at this time. And a link to watch the recording will be added to our website afterwards. So some key topics we will cover during the webinar include general conference overview, abstract requirements and tips, poster information, presentation style, conference schedule and activity information, technical tour information, and registration timelines and key conference dates. So this will be the 8th iteration of the conference since its inception in 2004. And the CGS YP conference is under the umbrella of the Canadian Geotechnical Society, and it happens every 3 years in the host city or nearby the national conference. It's specifically tailored for young or early career professionals in geotechnical engineering and geosciences with less than 10 years experience. And it's a fantastic opportunity for networking, learning, and career development. So the conference is designed to be a fun, small scale, and engaging for delegates. And it's a 3-day conference program that includes 1 full day of technical tours highlighting the geology, industry, and infrastructure in the area, guided by local industry experts and keynote speakers, and 2 days of delegate presentations, keynote presentations, workshops, and social poster sessions. And all participants are to deliver Pecha style presentations on a technical topic of choice that will set the stage for engaging discussions during poster sessions. And more details on exactly what Pecha style is will be provided later in this presentation. So the conference will be held in Wasagaming, Manitoba at the Elkhorn Resort Spa and Conference Center from September 18th to 20th this year, 2025. Wasagaming, Manitoba is located about 3 hours northwest of Winnipeg and was selected as the conference location in consideration of its prime location near the beautiful Riding Mountain National Park, as well as its proximity to Winnipeg. And Elkhorn Resort is surrounded by over 3,000 kilometers of boreal forest and has a long, distinguished history in Manitoba dating back to 1960. So the CGS YP conference immediately precedes the 76th CGS conference, Geo Manitoba, which is taking place from September 21st to 24th in Winnipeg. So the goal of this conference is to provide early career professionals with an inviting atmosphere to network, learn, and gain experience presenting technical material to an audience of peers. And in doing so, the intent is for delegates to come out of this experience with more confidence and some familiar faces prior to attending the main national conference or a similar large-scale conference held within the industry. The networking, learning, and career development opportunities offered by the CGS YP conference aim to foster a more connected, early career professional community and thereby a stronger geotechnical and geoscientific community. So the theme of this conference is collective impact, which ties in with the theme of the main CGS conference, Stronger Together. And this theme conveys the idea that by working together and leveraging the strengths of different stakeholders, we can address complex challenges and create a more equitable, resilient, and prosperous future for our communities and society. And geotechnical engineering and earth sciences combine the efforts of consultants, contractors, suppliers, public domains and governments, and impacted communities. So this theme emphasizes the importance of bringing together diverse groups, organizations, and individuals to work collaboratively toward a common goal. And it underscores the idea that by bringing together resources, expertise, and efforts, we can achieve meaningful and sustainable change in our communities and society as a whole. So I will now pass it over to Jordan to talk about the delegate requirements.
Hi, everyone. Thanks a lot, Savannah. So yeah, my name's Jordan Antunes. I work at Newfields in Regina. Okay, I'll go over some of the delegate requirements here. So we're asking that an abstract and full payment are submitted at the time of registration. And for the conference, we're asking that each delegate prepares a presentation, as Savannah mentioned, in the Pecha style, and a poster to support and expand their presentation. I'll just expand on these in the following slides. So for abstract tips on the next slide, we have, our intention for this conference was to allow a good opportunity for delegates newer in their career who may or may not have had much conference experience to give them a chance to work through the same steps as a typical conference. CGS is a yearly event. That's an excellent networking and presenting opportunity, and the CGS YP conference is a great opportunity preceding it to help with writing abstracts similar to the CGS conference. Our theme is for the conference, as mentioned by Savannah, is collective impact, and we're asking that an attempt to focus on this would be valuable in your technical topic, and with that in mind, less technical topics are also welcome for the conference. We're also asking a 250 word maximum, to set out for clarity and conciseness, and the technical committee will offer some insights to the abstracts as necessary to help this along. And for the presentation style, so the Pecha style is it's a short presentation with auto advancing slides. So the presentations will be 3 to 5 minutes, and the final time for presentations will be provided following the closing of registration. The short the PechaKucha style has auto advancing slides every 30 seconds. So this short slide advancement encourages critical component discussions and keeps presentations focused and brief. The pacing for the presentation will naturally come with this style. And this helps allow for practice for presenting, such as at other conferences like CGS. It's a more relaxed overall environment with a group of people you've built rapport with, and feedback and discussions can be had casually in breakout sessions or during poster sessions to follow. And the poster, so every delegate will also put together one poster. The poster is where you can expand and go into more detail on your presentation. Take the time to give someone who's going to read your poster the ability to deep dive into your topic and hopefully spark some good discussions. This is also a great networking opportunity to meet and discuss more with people at the conference. Use high quality images where possible and highlight the key points of your topic. And then just a brief overview of the conference schedule. So the schedule will be further broken down. The tech tour, will be further broken down in a following slide. But generally, this conference is a great opportunity to showcase Manitoba's great geotechnical marvels with the full day technical tour that's been thoughtfully curated. The conference then takes place over 2 full days of programs designed to highlight the keynote presenters that have accepted the invitation to talk and join in on the conference. There are 5 keynote sessions throughout the conference, with 2 separate presentation sessions for the delegates to allow for the PechaKucha presentations, as well as some breakout activities that are made to engage the delegates and allow for discussion with the keynotes. Evening activities, including dinner, will be planned for both conference days to expand your networking opportunities and help build those relationships with your peers and keynote presenters that you can foster on into the CGS conference if you're attending following. And I'll pass it off here now to Robin, who will go over the tech tour and a couple other items like this icebreaker event.
All right, thanks, Jordan. So to kick off the conference on September 17th, the Canadian Permafrost Association has kindly sponsored an icebreaker event. So to kind of kick off the first conference jitters, we've organized a night where the delegates can come together and kind of build those initial relationships with their peers. So this will happen the night that everyone arrives in Winnipeg. So the event will be held at a local restaurant in the heart of downtown Winnipeg, where we can begin to network, meet other delegates. Maybe some of the keynotes will also join us, which would be great. And we can begin to foster those new relationships within the young professional community. So we think this is a great way to kick off the conference, as well as spark some interest maybe in the frozen ground community. Maybe I can convince you that permafrost is super exciting in addition to geotech. So after the icebreaker event, we'll all go to a local hotel downtown, and then the first official day of the conference will be September 18th, which is the technical tour day, like Jordan had mentioned. So this tech tour has the goal of highlighting the geotechnical engineering in the Winnipeg and surrounding areas. The committee has put together several tour stops to put some spotlights on some of the challenges of working in Winnipeg clays and within the Manitoba River valleys. The tech tour is going to begin at the Human Rights Museum in downtown Winnipeg, where we'll have a guided tour through the museum to learn about the compelling human rights stories from across Canada, as well as look at the building's stunning architecture. The next stop on the tour will be the Red River Floodway. We'll have a look at the floodway structure, as well as have local experts discuss the construction and operations of the floodway. From there, we're going to take a short trip to the construction of a major interchange along the perimeter highway, and we'll look at the challenges faced when building large embankments on Winnipeg clays and the methods used to reduce settlement after construction. We're hoping to get on site during construction of the interchange, so this may require some PPE, so that we'll discuss later in registration requirements, but just keep that in mind as you're thinking about packing for this great event. The final stop of the tour before reaching the conference venue is planned to be within the beautiful Assiniboine River Valley. Geotechnically, the Assiniboine River Valley is known for slow-moving landslide, causing slope stability issues that may impact railways and other infrastructure in the area. So further, this is still in the planning stages, but these are definitely stops that we want to take along our route from Winnipeg to our conference venue. So with the technical tour, we'll go into our fantastic panel of keynote speakers. So the committee has selected an amazing panel of keynotes. Not that I'm biased, but we provided a diverse range of expertise and experience. So we're excited to announce that the selected speakers include Catherine Dompierre, who's based in Winnipeg and is the leader of the GeoStudio user success team at Sequent. We've also got Ken Scafeld from Trek Geotechnical, who is going to provide us with a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the geotechnical engineering practice in the Winnipeg area, which I'm pretty sure is the title of master's thesis. But he's also going to join us for the technical tour day, where he can provide a lot of his experience working on many of these projects and just such a great storyteller. We've also got Dr. Jean Hutchinson from Innovative Geomatics and Queen's University. Dr. Hutchinson has an engineering focus on integrating geological knowledge into geomatics for the mining industry, landslide monitoring, and transportation corridor hazard assessments. Jean is also an advocate for diversity in engineering and has been involved in several EDI initiatives throughout her career, so we're really excited to learn more about that. We have Jason Henry from Clifton Engineering Group, and Jason has more than 15 years of experience mixed between the consulting and working for a large dam owner. So we can get his diverse experience throughout his career and really give us an idea of what that pathway looked like. And we're also going to be joined by the CGS president, Dr. Craig Lake. Craig is a professor at the Department of Civil and Resource Engineering at Dalhousie University, where his research focuses on geoenvironmental engineering with a specific focus on engineered containment system. He was part of the organizing committee for the first Young Professionals Conference in Quebec in 2004. So we're excited to get his take on how we're doing 20 years later. So that will be interesting. So we're super excited that we've got all of these keynote speakers to kind of come hang out with us through the technical tour all throughout the conference and really get you guys involved with building relationships with your peers within the young professional community, as well as the keynote speakers. So with that, we're going to look at what registration looks like for our conference. The fee for the registration to the conference will be $1,300 for a single room occupancy and $1,000 for a double room. And this fee is going to include your transportation between Winnipeg and the conference venue. So the bus basically throughout the tour, and then we'll bus you back to Winnipeg for either your flights home or hopefully Geo Manitoba. The meals will also be included in this price, and that includes the meals on the day of the technical tour, and then the accommodations at Elkhorn Resort are included in this price. But the fee does not include your transportation to Winnipeg before and after the conference. So after Geo Manitoba and getting to Winnipeg, it is not included. And then we're looking at getting a group code for the hotel that you can stay at the night of the icebreaker event. So on September 17th, right before the tech tour date. So registration is expected to open in March, and we'll talk about those dates. Maybe I see, and I think my slide is next, but registration, once it opens, it'll be opening on our website. The link is up there, and you can also follow us on social media. We post quite often highlighting our organizing committee or any announcements related to new information on the website, or kind of hints to when registration will open, which we'll announce here today. But we're going to put this recording on our website along with all of the information about our conference. So our conference schedule will be on there. looking at the abstract template for when you need to submit your abstract will also be on there. Savannah, can you just check if the next slide is the question slide or if it's the dates?
It's the question slide.
Okay.
So
So we had some technical difficulties right before this meeting, but the key dates that we are looking at for the conference registration will be on March 10th. So put that in your calendars. We'll also be announcing that on our LinkedIn page. And then conference registration will close in May, in late May, but it's important to know, Jordan mentioned that when you're registering, you're going to have to submit your conference abstract. So that's that 250 word abstract. We'll be requiring that because we'll need your fee as well and your abstracts so that we can review abstracts, as our conference venue is limited to 50 delegates, I believe. So it's going to be kind of first come, first serve on how many people we can get at the beginning of registration before closing. So the sooner you can get your abstract done and submitted to us, the better, to make sure you solidified a spot. And the other dates that I'm trying to remember that were on that slide, we're going to be reviewing abstracts between June and July. So we'll provide comments on the abstracts that you submit, and then send back any comments or suggestions that we have leading up to your final abstract submittal, as well as helping you create your poster and your presentation as well. We're going to do another webinar following registration to give you kind of a rundown of the PechaKucha style and what to expect in terms of how you're presenting, how long you're presenting, and kind of just our guidance on where we think you should kind of go with the presentation style, because this will be the first conference that we're testing that out on. So with that, I guess we'll open the floor to questions. So if you have any questions about abstracts, what the content should look like, or how to write an abstract, or all of us have been to a YP conference in the past, so we can give you kind of testimonials or any advice on what to expect. So we would like to open up for questions. You can raise your hand, use the chat, or just unmute yourself, works as well.
Hey, I might ask you a question. Thank you for the great presentation. That was so informative. Do you guys maybe have a good example to start with that would explain to viewers a little bit what a less technical topic might look like, or just give them an idea and a starting point for that?
I could jump in and answer that one. So when I attended last conference in 2022, I chose a less technical topic. I believe, I may not remember the verbatim, but it was something like working as a young professional in design build projects. So for me, I focused my topic on the kind of struggles of growing your career, growing your technical knowledge, and working in really high stress environments like a design build project where you have large contractors you're working with, you have tight deadlines, you have government as well as contractors and consultants all working together, and then multidisciplinary work as well, and just kind of the pressures that has on younger engineers. And so that was just and once again, it's a short presentation, so it's about 3 to 5 minutes, excuse me. And yeah, it just kind of was more of a maybe a candid look into what some engineering looks like for young professionals. Hope that helps and answers your question.
Yeah,
Chelsea.
perfect. That was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, to just build on that, because this is a little bit of a unique conference where you go to Geo Manitoba and it's very technical forward, and the sessions are really focused on the technical side of things. This is really fostering just the networking and the connections that you can make with people in the similar kind of age group or place in their career that you are. So that's really the goal of this conference, is just to build those connections that you can have throughout the rest of your career, because we see that as a very important and valuable thing to do. So that's kind of kind of what we're trying to do. We're not trying to just be like, we want to know what your research or about one project and give me all of the details. It's really just, what has your experience been so far as an EIT or a junior scientist, and that's what we're looking for.
I think something that's really interesting about that and what Robin just said too is you get to meet other people going through a lot of similar things that you're going through as a young professional geoscientist or engineer in this profession. Yeah, you get a really good opportunity to build off of other people's experience, and maybe they can support you. And I know I was thankful that I met and still am in contact with a lot of really, really great engineers and geoscientists across the country from the last conference.
Yeah, and I'll add to that, I was a delegate at the 2019 iteration in St. John's, Newfoundland, and then came back as part of the organizing committee for 2022, and now I'm here. So I think that just speaks to the value of this conference. And honestly, I have to say, this conference, and especially like 2019 was the start of it, but these are some of the most memorable conferences that you'll be able to attend in your in your career. And I mean, you build connections and you keep those connections throughout your time in the industry. So we do have a question. Oh no, that's just Jack saying note double occupancy registration. Yeah, you must select your roommate on your own. So we would not pair you up with anybody. You would have to declare your the person that you want to stay with for the time of the conference.
I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
What was your favorite part of the 2022 YP conference for those folks that haven't attended before?
I could go first. I might do a cheap answer and say two things. I really liked the style of presentations, keeping them short, and the poster sessions was really nice because I felt like I got the opportunity to meet everyone at the conference and spend a little bit of time talking, just the way it was broken up. It was a really open environment, which was really fun. And I think maybe my surprising favorite part was the evening events were really great. People were really able to just continue conversations, continue thoughts, and really get to know and meet other people in a really relaxed environment. So that was my favorite part.
Yeah, I'll go next. I think for me, it was, I think putting yourself in a room with the keynote speakers, for me at least, I know that sometimes when I go to the CGS conferences, I feel like almost starstruck by these big names in industry. And I'm just like, oh, I could never go up and talk to them. But putting yourself in the smaller group and the environment that we kind of create, you just learn that they're also people and they just want to have regular conversations with you. You don't have to just go in with a very technical question. And some of those relationships have led to me being on committees within CGS that I never thought I would have joined. And it kind of just snowballs your networking within the larger CGS. And I think that has it's changed my career path a lot, which I'm super grateful for, and kind of just gives you that perspective that they just want to have conversations and they're really excited to connect with the young professionals in the community. So I think that's also a really important thing, and I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I agree with both of those. But I mean, I think my favorite part is just the networking aspect. I think it's so nice to be able to meet kind of like-minded peers from across the country and sometimes internationally too, that come in and being able to share your experiences and learn from them and yeah, make these connections that will last truthfully like throughout your entire career. And I mean, every year you might end up at CGS conference and you'll see familiar faces. I know, for us too, like we were together at the last conference and now, we saw each other at CGS in Montreal, and then, now we're on this organizing committee. So, and then also just being able to kind of push yourself to present. I know, like, as maybe as frequently as people might do presentations, you know, it's still good to get that practice and being able to present on a topic in a concise and clear manner. It's really helpful, and you'll take that experience with you further as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mandeep.
Thank you, Savannah. Yeah, nice to see you guys again. Just a quick, maybe a reminder would help. Like, we talked about delegate requirements, but I was wondering what are the delegate eligibility requirements? Like, if we can remind who can attend these conferences, this conference, that would be great. I know it might be somewhere in the website, but something we can maybe let remind people about.
Yeah, so the only, yes, not really restriction, we kind of open it up to anyone that's within 10 years of their most recent degree is what we're considering a young professional. So if you land in that category, then you're more than welcome to come and attend.
Yeah, there's definitely no like age requirement per se too, right? There are a lot of people who've joined into this profession or these professions recently, and they've started it later in their life, and they've been at the conference too and had a great time. So there's no age requirement. I think it's just, yeah, as far as where you are in your career within that first 10 years of the degree, like Robin said.
Perfect. Thank you, Robin and Jordan.
Anything else? Well, maybe we covered everything, guys. There's no questions. We were very thorough with our presentation.
Yeah, no questions on abstracts. I think that's another thing with this conference is there's less. Oh, Amanda, go ahead.
Oh, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, okay, I don't really have a question. I just have a comment to say. Yeah, thanks so much for putting this presentation together. It was super beneficial for me to understand expectations. Even though I am on the planning committee, I didn't know the level of detail, so it was super helpful. I just wanted to make a comment about the Pechakucha presentation style. So I work for the province of Manitoba, and every year I help plan the EIT conferences. So this year I kind of threw the idea of, doing like a Pechakucha style for the EITs to present on like who they are. And yeah, so each of the EITs in the province had an opportunity to give 3 minutes to talk about themselves and talk about their interests. And it went really, really well. Like it was so engaging. And when I sent out the, you know, feedback from the conference, it was just like everyone was so excited. And yeah, so I just wanted to let you know that I kind of test drove it a little bit and it went really well, got really good feedback.
Thanks a lot. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So I'm super excited.
Okay.
I'll maybe put one last note too. Obviously, let anyone you're working with or at this point in their career as well. If they're not aware of this conference, let them know that we're out there. If we have our website open, and it's just constantly being updated with new information as it comes available. So just let anyone that may be interested to come check it out, because it's going to be a great event. And like Robin mentioned, I believe it is limited to the number of people we can have at the event. So it will be kind of first come, first serve in that way.
All right. Well, if there are no further questions, you guys can always reach out to us through our social media, or you can email us or use the contact tab on our website as well. And we'll definitely answer any questions that you have, or if there's anyone that might have any questions, just let them know that they can reach out to us at any time, and we'll be happy to answer the questions. So we hope to see all of you or most of you in September at the conference. It's going to be a great event. Like Jordan said, it's super fun and just a great way to meet people across the country in a similar position as you. So thanks again for everyone showing up, and yeah, we hope to see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.